Thanks for joining me today. So in today's video, I want to show you a few things that I've been doing in my garden, and I also want to transplant some cauliflower that I started from seeds. But before I get started, I want to give you an update on some container plantings that I did. Now, I did a recent video about vertical gardening where I planted these leafy greens into a hanging grow bag. So I want to show you that, and then I want to show you the hanging baskets that I had. Now, because of the hurricane, I ended up taking these down from where they were hanging because I didn't want the wind to get in them and take them, just sling them all over the place. Thankfully, we didn't sustain any damage that I know of, just some branches that fell from some of the trees, but other than that, we fared pretty well. One of the grow pots that I had of the lettuce that I planted, and it's doing really well. This is the other one here that I planted, and it's really time for me to start, taking from it, cutting off some of the leaves to make salads and things, because that will help it to continue to grow. So this is the hanging vertical planter that I ordered online. I really like it. At first I didn't think I was going to like it, but I filled it up with leafy greens, and I'm finding out that now that the temperatures have dropped and I do have cool season crops here, I don't have to water it as often. I was watering it maybe twice a day when the temperatures were warm, and now I don't have to do that. I did overfill the top compartment with too much soil, and I'm finding that you don't have to put a lot of soil in there, and they do better. I do like that it has these 4 openings where you can hook it securely to your fence or your wall or whatever. It did come with zip ties that you can use, but I like it because I can move it around to wherever I need it to be. But the only thing I didn't like about it was it had this plastic liner at the bottom pocket, and I found that it just held onto the water in the bottom compartment, and so I just kind of tuck it to the back of the planter, and I find that it works well like this. But I really like this planter, and I do plan to get some more. Now, these are the strawberries that I planted. This is a new container for me as well. I planted June-bearing strawberries in here, and I did have a couple of runners, so all I'm going to do is just tuck this into the soil, and that way I can let it root really well, and I'll have more strawberries for next year. But this is a great planter. Now, my flowers are doing okay. I did plant some spinach at the bottom, the Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. That way when the flowers stop blooming, and I will still have some spinach in the bottom that I can harvest. This is my favorite planter. It consists of leafy greens like the lettuces. It has some Swiss chard, some kale. Now all you have to do is pick out the outer leaves and leave the center part intact. Do the same thing with the spinach, and your lettuce and your spinach will continue to grow, and it will get bigger as it continues to grow. Now, your lettuce can take a couple of hard frosts, but they will have to be covered up with some heavy towels or blankets or some row covers that can hold in the heat and protect it from the cold and the frost. Here are some rutabagas that I planted around the middle of August, and this is what they look like. These are some that I harvested in the past, and I just love them. They are root crops, and I can't wait until they are ready to harvest. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you how I separate my plants and how I plant them in my garden. Okay, so these are cauliflowers that I planted that I multi-sowed in a container, and now I am simply separating them from each other. It is so easy to do. They virtually fall apart. I shake them a little bit and shake some of the soil off, and it is just so easy to get them apart from each other. So I planted 3 different kinds. I planted the green Maserata, the Rober, and the purple of Sicily. So now I am going to plant them in soil that I amended with compost. I'm going to plant them 12 inches apart. So this is fertile, well-draining soil, which is perfect for my cauliflowers. So I'm going to finish planting them, and when I do, I'll come back and show you the finished results. This is the finished results of planting the 3 cauliflowers. I'm so sorry that I didn't record it. I thought I had to hit record, and by the time I finished planting them, I realized my mistake. So these are 3 rows of cauliflowers. So the outer row is the green Maserata. The middle row is the Rober, and the purple of Sicily. Now over to the right, these are collards that I planted. It's a combination of Morris heading and Georgia collards. The outer far to the right are the Morris heading, and then in the middle and the outer left are the Georgia collards. And I planted these early in the day, and I will keep you updated as to how well they're doing. Collards are brassicas, and you know, one thing I really love about brassicas is that they are frost tolerant and can survive temperatures down to the upper teens. In fact, the cold temperatures makes the leaves sweeter and more tastier. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.